Day 215, we cross the orbit of Mars and enter the main asteroid belt. Day 570, we can now make out finer detail on Jupiter than the largest telescopes on Earth have ever obtained. Day 640, the cloud patterns are distinctive and gorgeous. No painter trapped on Earth ever imagined a world so strange and lovely. The white clouds are ammonia crystals, high and cold. We do not know the nature of the red-brown clouds. Maybe phosphorus or sulfur is a stain, or perhaps complex organic molecules of the sort that led 4 billion years ago back on Earth to the origin of life. And what is the Great Red Spot? It is an immense swirling column of gas reaching high above the adjacent clouds, so large that it could hold half a dozen Earths. Its motion hypnotizes us. Some think that the red spot is a great spinning storm, 1 million years old. Day 650, Encounter, a day of wonders. The ship maneuvers so we can take pictures of the multi-ringed basin on Callisto. Images of the astonishing lined surface of Ganymede. A close passage by Europa. And a view of volcanic Io. We successfully negotiate the treacherous radiation belts and accomplish the ring plane crossing. Looking back, we marvel at the rings and see the sun emerge from behind the giant planet. We are outward bound on our mission to explore the outer solar system. 10,000 years from now, Voyager will plunge onward to the stars. We have made the ships that sail the sea of space. We travel past Jupiter 750 million kilometers from the Sun, Saturn 1.5 billion, Uranus 3 billion, and Neptune 4.5 billion kilometers away. In our ship of the mind, we retrace the itinerary of the 2 Voyager spacecraft on their journeys to Saturn and beyond. Saturn was first glimpsed through the telescope by Galileo, its rings first understood by Huygens, but only now do we begin to penetrate its deeper mysteries. Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system. Like Jupiter, it is cloud-covered and rotates once every 10 hours. It has a weaker magnetic field, a weaker radiation belt, and a grand, magnificent, exquisite system of rings. The rings are composed of billions of tiny moons, each circling Saturn in its own orbit. The biggest gap in the rings is called the Cassini division, after the colleague of Huygens who first discovered it. There are many other gaps, each produced by the periodic gravitational tugs of one of the larger outer moons. From just beneath the ring plane, we see a sky full of moons. Within the rings, the individual moons become visible. They are orbiting chunks of snow and ice, each perhaps a meter across. In young parts of the ring system, there has not been enough time for collisions to round the edges of these fragments, the snowballs of Saturn. Far from the rings, bathed in its red light, we encounter Saturn's immense cloud-covered moon, Titan. It has an atmosphere denser than that of Mars, and a thick layer of red clouds which are probably composed of complex organic molecules produced by solar ultraviolet light and other energy sources from the methane-rich air. No ship from Earth has ever penetrated those clouds and viewed close up the surface of this tantalizing world. It seems likely that the ground is covered, encrusted with organic molecules raining from the sky. There may be volcanoes and valleys of ice, and, just perhaps, hiding in the warm places, some very different kind of life. Near an ice cliff of Titan, through a rare break in the clouds of organic molecules, we can see, looming and lovely, the ringed planet Saturn. It is a view that will still be appreciated centuries from now by our descendants, who will know it well as we have come to know Hudson's Bay and the Barents Sea, Indonesia and Australia and New York. They will look back to the time when Titan was first glimpsed